Hey guys, I'm Serhan Ayhan. I'm from Queens, New York, and we're gonna do some Greek-style pizza today. So Greek-style pizza you can kind of think of as a hybrid between Sicilian and bar pizza. It is a pan pizza. It's also known as New England Greek-style pizza. It's a style you see pretty much throughout that entire region. So we're gonna work with our bread flour. We also have instant yeast. We use some sugar in this dough to tenderize the crust. The salt content is gonna be about 1% if we're talking baker's percentages. I also like to use a neutral oil, something like soybean or canola oil. And for this dough, I also like using whole milk. I find that milk gives it a very pillowy kind of structure to it. So we're gonna get our dough going. We're gonna get our flour and our other dry ingredients in here. So we're just gonna start out in the lowest setting, and then we're gonna gradually add our wet ingredients. I'm gonna mix the milk with the water, so this way we get our wet ingredients in. So we're gonna just gradually add this in. So it should take about a minute or two for this to start coming together. And then finally, I'm gonna add my oil. So we're gonna let this mix for a little bit. This part should take about a minute or two. So let's take a look at this. Everything is well incorporated now. So because the dough has a lower salt content compared to other styles, you can see it's like a little more slack. And this is gonna help with kind of the puffiness that we're looking for in this style. So we're gonna do our bulk fermentation. This should take about an hour or two. We want it to double in size, maybe a little more. So we'll cover this and then we'll check back in an hour or two. Okay, so we waited about 2 hours, did our bulk fermentation. Let's take a look. Got a nice rise out of the dough. This is ready to divide. Let's get it on the counter. So this dough, because it's fermented, it's really nice and loose. And we're gonna divide this into 4 dough balls, about 10 ounces each, 283 grams. It's recommended to use a scale. Okay, so these are all about 10 ounces. I'm gonna ball these up. There's different ways people ball up. Because this is a drier dough, it's not gonna be as sticky. So it's very user-friendly, very easy to work with. You just kinda wanna ball it onto itself so that the top gets very taut. Make sure you get a nice seal on the bottom so we don't get any thin spots. Also make sure you don't over tighten this. If you find that it's starting to dry on the top, get little dry bits like that, you can use a little oil before you put it into your dough box. You can give these enough space, keeping in mind that they're gonna proof even more. Leave this in the fridge overnight, 2 days, sometimes even 3, and then we can use it to make our pizza. Okay, so we have our dough that's proofed overnight. We're gonna take it out. You wanna make sure you take this out a couple hours before you plan on making your pizzas. We want a dough that's room temperature, easy to work with. I'm actually gonna add some flour to this, just so it doesn't stick. Got our pan, this 10-inch pan for our 10-ounce dough ball. We got our tomato sauce, we got our cheese blend here. I like to use a blend of white cheddar and low moisture mozzarella. I feel like that really gives that classic New England Greek style flavor. So I prefer to oil the pan when I'm stretching out my Greek style pizza. I've seen different methods for the stretch. If you do use a rolling pin, don't mash out all the air. Just be kind of gentle. We're just trying to push this out. You can do a little gravity move, get a little more stretch. Okay, and from here, you can get into the pan. So what you can do is kind of grab part of it, pull it to the edge, right? And you want this to be kind of an even stretch. If you want, you can form a little crust like this. So once we have this stretched out, we'll put this in a covered, warm area. I would use a damp towel just to prevent the dough from drying out. Put this away for 2-3 hours, and then we'll be ready to bake our pizza. Okay, so this has been proofing for about 2-3 hours. Let's take a look. Okay, we got some rise out of this. It'll keep rising in the oven once it bakes. Get some sauce on. I kind of like that you can just use the pan to kind of guide your saucing. Again, you want to be mindful that depending on how much sauce and cheese you have, that's going to affect your bake. We're going to set our oven to 550 degrees, bake 8 to 12 minutes, and we'll pop this in and just take it from there. Okay, there's a timer. Okay. See, a little darker. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. A little more browning on the cheese, a little darker on the crust. I'm gonna pop this out. We're gonna check the bottom of the pizza. We got some good color here. So I think this looks great. I want just a little more color on the bottom. So I'm gonna pop this back in the oven and get a little more extra crunch out of your pizza. Okay. Okay, I like to add a little oregano, a little extra color, a little more flavor. All right, let's try it. This is great, I'm very proud of it. So there you have it. There's your New England Greek style pizza. This is a great oven, I think, for baking this style of pizza. It kind of replicates that deck oven feel. So I hope you'll give it a try.